Swiss voters have rejected a far-right proposal to cap the country's population at 10 million, with nearly 55% voting against the controversial referendum dubbed the Swiss Brexit.
스위스에서 인구를 1000만명 이하로 제한하는 내용의 국민투표 안건이 부결됐습니다. 일명 스위스 브렉시트'라 불리며 논란이 된 이번 투표는 자국 내 극우 진영에서 발의한 것으로 투표 참여 유권자의 약 55%가 반대표를 던진 것으로 알려졌습니다. What do we know?
Oh, this was a very big deal. On Sunday, I saw that in some areas they were preparing for unrest, perhaps, on voting day.
Wow.
And there was a little bit of tension. People were worried and wondering what was going to happen. This was set up by the far-right Swiss People's Party, and they wanted to force the government to limit the population. It's at 9.1 million now, but limit it to 10 million by 2050. However, if the population, if Switzerland had voted for that, that would have had all sorts of consequences in terms of being part of Europe, because Switzerland is sort of separate, but also together. They have free market access, but that might have been terminated. Free movement could have been terminated, all sorts of things. So the government, the coalition government at the moment, and various business groups were campaigning against this. They were saying vote no. Yeah. At the end of the day, there was a turnout of 58.86%, and almost 55% of voters said no. So the proposal has failed. We'll see what happens, but certainly it feels like there's a lot of tension when it comes to population size, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to asylum, and this is not just in Switzerland. We're seeing this all over Europe at the moment. Certainly in the UK, it's a big discussion, and elsewhere as well.
You say immigration, and I guess that's why they're calling it the Swiss Brexit.
Yes.
Because immigration had quite a lot to do with why Britain wanted to leave the EU in the first place. Not the only reason. But,
but the funny thing is that there have been more immigrating to the UK since Brexit. Numbers have been up. So it's all very interesting. It's all very worrying for some people because it's the future of a country. We'll see what happens. And certainly we'll see all over the world because it seems like this is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, at least in Europe.
그래요. 2050년까지 스위스 인구를 1000만 명으로 제한하자라는 안건이었어요. 그런데 이게 부결이 됐습니다. 그러니까 우파 정당 측에서 내놓은 안건인데 이민자들이 너무나 많다 보니까 이제 여러 가지 문제들이 있다라는 이제 문제 제기를 했고 어떻게 보면은 영국의 브렉시트 때와 조금 비슷한 기조로 이제 안건을 내놓다 보니 그래서 스위스 브렉시트다 뭐 이런 별명까지 붙여지기는 했지만 부결이 됐습니다. Alright, let's have a look at to reject something.
No, let's not look at it.
Are you going to reject?
I'm going to refuse. I'm going to say no. I'm going to push that suggestion away.
Oh dear.
I am rejecting it. Okay. Yes, and if we reject something, we say no. We don't agree to it. We don't let it happen. Yep. We stop it in some way. Whatever it is, we're refusing it.
거부하다, 거절하다의 의미예요. 그래서 사실은 이제 이 투표가 부결됐다라는 얘기를 좀 돌려서 하는 겁니다. 그래서 스위스의 유권자들이 이런 안건을 거절했습니다. 이렇게 표현을 하고 있는 거예요. So the opposite would be the voters have accepted the proposal.
Yes. Certainly, yes. You can go for more, more emphatic terms. Welcome the proposal.
Okay, yeah.
Agree to the proposal.
Sure.
But accepted, rejected, I think these two are a good pair.
좋아요. 자, 그 다음에 controversial 보겠습니다.
Well, something is controversial, it's going to cause controversy. It's going to cause disagreements. It's going to cause arguments. It's going to cause a lot of talk and maybe a lot of anger or a lot of upset. So we can have a controversial debate. You can have a controversial movie, a controversial book, something that is creating a lot of discussion, but not just happy discussion. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be people on either side fighting over it.
Exactly. Controversial, 논란이 많다라는 뜻인데요. 이 논란, controversy라고 발음하기도 하고 controversy라고 발음하기도 합니다. 강세가 다른데요. 둘 다 가능하고 논란이 많은 국민투표였어요. 그래서 referendum, 국민투표. And if something is voted for or voted against, of course, that means the people accept it or they refuse it or they reject it.
Yes.
So these are all expressions you can think of together. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Swiss voters have rejected a far-right proposal to cap the country's population at 10 million, with nearly 55% voting against the controversial referendum dubbed the Swiss Brexit. Let's move on to the next headline.
Millions of rare pink sea cucumbers have washed ashore at a beach in eastern Thailand, turning the coastline pink and prompting a local government investigation into the rare natural phenomenon.
You okay there?
I just had a little hiccup.
네. 태국 동부의 한 해변에 희귀한 분홍색 해삼 수백만 마리가 밀려오면서 해변 수백 미터 구간이 붉은색으로 뒤덮이는 보기 드문 현상이 발생해 현지 당국이 조사에 나섰습니다. What's happening?
Well, they washed up at Swanson Beach in Rayong province on June 11th, and there's a lot of them. They're pink, thorny sea cucumbers, people are being advised not to step on them, not to touch them, be careful, because they can actually cause irritation.
Yeah,
they can set your skin itching.
The pictures look a little scary, I have to say, as there's so many of them.
Yes, but these things sometimes happen, and with the climate crisis, we're seeing these natural weather events happening, and that seems to be the case here. There have been strong winds, waves, there have been rough currents, and these seem to be the cause of these sea cucumbers being washed up on shore.
네, 최근에 강한 바람과 파도 등 이런 이제 기상 악화로 인해서 이 해삼이 해안으로 떠밀려 온 것으로 이렇게 추정이 되고요. 사람에게 치명적이진 않지만 그래도 만지게 되면은 피부 가려움증이 생길 수 있으니까 만지지 말라고 합니다. Alright, let's have a look at 해삼. In English is sea cucumber.
Yes, the green ones are delicious.
Yes, that's the normal ones. These are pink. What about to be washed ashore?
If something is washed ashore, the waves have brought it onto the beach. Nobody has put it there. It hasn't been flown there. It hasn't been driven there. It's been pushed there by the water.
네, 해안으로 밀려오다, 떠밀려오다, to be washed ashore. A가 shore 앞에 붙어요. Ashore. What about coastline?
Oh, the coastline is the area of the coast that stretches up and around whatever part of a country we're talking about. Here, it's a relatively short stretch of coastline. It's several hundred meters. But we can talk about the coastline of southern Korea or the coastline of western Korea, eastern Korea, for example.
그렇죠. 해안선을 coastline이라고 합니다. 해안, 그러면 coast가 되겠죠. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Millions of rare pink sea cucumbers have washed ashore at a beach in eastern Thailand, turning the coastline pink and prompting a local government investigation into the rare natural phenomenon. Now let's move on to our final headline.
A Harvard University study reveals that middle-aged men who can perform 40 or more push-ups have a 96% lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who can manage fewer than 10.
중년 남성을 대상으로 한 미국 하버드대 연구에서 팔굽혀펴기를 40회 이상 수행한 그룹은 10회 미만 그룹보다 심혈관 질환 발병 위험이 96%나 낮은 것으로 나타났습니다. Right, so the more you can do, the better.
Basically, the lower the risk of coronary artery disease and heart failure. If you can do more than 40, you've got a 96% lower risk. If you can do between 21 and 40, you've got a 75% lower risk. If you can do 11 to 20, you've got a 64% lower risk. If you can't do more than 10, well, you need to get to the gym. You need to start exercising. There's a higher risk for you. And it's really interesting. It seems that the ability, the capacity to do push-ups is strongly associated with cardiovascular disease. It's also associated with things like a lower BMI, more stable blood pressure, and just higher physical activity, which is what I need.
I believe they traced the activities of these people over 10 years. So it was, not just a one-time thing.
No. And so we'll have to see. It was, I think it was a relatively smaller study. It was only 1,104 of them. And they were all firefighters. So it's a very particular part of a population. But I think it's generally going to be good advice. If you can do more than 40 push-ups, it means you're in pretty good health.
그래요.
And especially as you get to our age, Sue, we need to be fit.
We do. 자, 한 1,100명 정도의 소방대원을 상대로 10년 동안 데이터를 추적해본 결과 이렇게 팔굽혀펴기를 40개 이상 했을 때는요, 심혈관 질환 위험이 96%나 감소하는데 그 비교군이 이제 10개도 못하는 10개 미만으로 하는 그룹과 비교했을 때 96% 이상 심혈관 질환 위험이 감소하고 만약에 한 21개에서 40개 정도 한다. 그럼 75% 감소. 또 11개에서 20개 정도의 팔굽혀펴기를 할 경우에는 10개 미만으로 하는 사람에 비해서 64%나 그래도 심혈관 질환 위험이 감소한다라는 이런 이제 데이터가 나왔습니다. 자, 중년의 남성을 대상으로 했다. This was an experiment, a sort of study, I guess, targeted at middle-aged men.
Yes, me. I'm a middle-aged man. I'm never quite sure when middle-age begins and ends because it seems to change as the years go by.
Yeah.
I would put it 40 to 60 as a rough estimate.
Yeah.
Some people might say 35.
Maybe 40 to 50? I don't know.
Are you saying over 50 is
not
old
40,
age?
No, I mean 40s and 50s. Oh, that's the same as 40 to 60.
Yes, that is.
Sorry.
You're getting me worried. I was thinking I'm going to be an old man in 2 years.
We were saying the same thing, just different expression. Yeah.
I think approximately people will quibble over this.
Yes,
Some people will add a year here or take off a year there. But I think if you're in your 40s or your 50s, you're counted as middle-aged.
Yeah, I think definitely in the past, people would say that, 30s were also middle-aged. But these days, no.
No, I
young,
think not.
Yeah.
And even 60 is still pretty young in many people's eyes.
True. 그래요. 뭐 기준은 다 다를 수 있지만 어쨌든 중년이다라고 할 때는 middle-aged. What about to manage something?
If you can manage something or manage to do something, you're able to do it. You can handle it, you can bear it, you could endure it, whatever it may be. If you can't manage, well, you're not able to.
네. 뭔가 해낸다는 뜻이에요. To manage to do a push-up. And manage to finish this project. Or manage to do something. Manage to explain what manage means.
You managed that quite well.
Thank you very much. 그래서 해내다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 특히 이 팔굽혀펴기 영어로는 push-up이라고 하죠. 이게 뭐 러닝머신, 트레드밀에서 뛰는 것보다 어떻게 보면 심혈관 위험을 추적하는데 더 유용했다라는 뭐 그런 내용도 있었는데요. 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. A Harvard University study reveals that middle-aged men who can perform 40 or more push-ups have a 96% lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who can manage fewer than 10. All right, well that's it for our headlines this morning with Paul Matthews.